Thank you so much for tuning in to Society Complex. This is your host, Vaughn Lee. So let's go ahead and get into some breaking news. The Wake County Public School System is back in the news once again. And the news concerning another one of their employees is even more horrendous than the locking the child in the story that I told you guys about on my last podcast episode. Stephen Wayne Sharp, 60 years of age, was suspended from his job as a maintenance technician. He was an employee since about March 2006. Charged with multiple counts of sexual exploitation of a minor. The incident occurred February 2018, according to the arrest records. Wake County Public School System Communications Director says no students in the Wake County systems were involved with the incident. But I guess we will see. I'm guessing you you guys don't know the employees that you have, because this is the second time you guys have been in the news in less than a week. So great job. Taxi company who may or may not be in business for much longer is refusing to give rides to people who wear masks or have the COVID-19 vaccine. Charlie Billington, the owner, says they don't allow any type of mask in their vehicles. This is what he said in an interview with KMOV. He has been in business for about 16 years, and during this same interview, he also stated that he was proud of Missouri for being one of the top 3 states with the lowest vaccine rate. I'm not sure if this is terrifying or he thinks that he's being patriotic, but this is what he says, and his company will continue to abide by this. So great job, and thanks to you, sir. And being that this is a state is almost just as bad as Florida right now, with a huge surge of COVID-19 cases. River Times has reported that many customers have complained on Yelp about the anti-masking. Customers have been denied rides with this company based on its anti-mask stance. So good job to you, and I hope you're still going to be in business. I don't know how long you're going to stay in business, but we're going to see, because that just doesn't make sense, sir. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But if that's what you want to do, good luck to you. And I hope you get lots and lots of applause from the people of Missouri that are in the hospital for COVID-19. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo still refuses to resign, even though his political career is pretty much over. This weekend, he and some of his sources are claiming that he won't step down and come to his terms, that his time in office is over, because he says, quote, "I need more time." And this comes right after the fallout from a report that found he has sexually harassed multiple women. I believe it's about 11. So I don't know if you guys have caught up with this story or not. I'm pretty sure you have, if you watch pretty much any news channel out there. But last week, New York Attorney General James has detailed allegations of those 11 women and did find that he had engaged in unwelcome and non-consensual touching. And these are just a few of the allegations. Now, he is certainly claiming that, what they all claim, he didn't do it, et cetera, et cetera. I believe some of his lawyers, or at least one of his lawyers, was on CNN. And he's even being accused of trying to intimidate one of those women. Even President Joe Biden is calling for his resignation. Good job to you, sir. Thank you so much for doing that. Even though it is definitely possible that he could be impeached, as they're talking about it right now, he probably will be impeached more than likely. Which like I said, he really should just go ahead and resign. No matter what he says, whether he did it, he didn't do it, whatever he wants to say. Nobody's handling that right now. We're not going to deal with it. And the Democratic Party, even before the investigation by the Attorney General, they had already called for him to resign. Because right now, the Democratic Party, we cannot afford for this kind of thing to go on and on and on and to be drug out. Okay, I think the Democrats are having enough trouble right now with all the things they have going on. And so not to say that some of the Republicans aren't either. So don't act like that. They're having just as much trouble as the Democratic Party trying to get things done here lately, ever since President Joe Biden has stepped into office. Now, one of his accusers, she did finally come forth. I think she was first known as Executive Assistant 1, but she finally did a interview, and I believe her name is Brittany. So she finally came in the interview and did a public interview. And she is calling for him to be criminally charged. So we're definitely going to keep up with this. We're going to see where it goes. I know a lot of people believe he didn't do this. But that's obviously, you're right. He's, like I said, he's certainly claiming that he didn't do it. He's saying he did apologize if he felt like he did anything wrong to someone, and something that he did to someone else made them feel uncomfortable. He did, kind of say that, because I believe one of them is somebody else on his staff, a officer of the law, actually a female officer. So that he picked personally when he met her. Apparently he was so overwhelmed with such a great job she was doing that he for some reason wanted her on his detail. So he got that, being that he's the governor of New York, one of the highest office, the highest office in New York. So of course he's going to get what he wants. And then the girl said that she was afraid to tell anyone, because the detail that is outside, to protect the governor, she said that they are not there for her. They are there to protect him. So that prevented her from saying anything for about 5 months. So then 5 months after that, that's when she had told other colleagues and stuff like that. After the incident, she told them about the incident. So a lot of people will tell you that that kind of makes her look suspicious. But what I will tell you is that it's common, especially among women that have been assaulted, or people have made comments to them and sexually harassed them. It's not unusual, but in the court of law, unusual. We have to go with what we can see, what we can prove, and things like that. So it doesn't necessarily negate her claim, obviously, because that, leaves witnesses. But also, Governor Cuomo's side, he also has witnesses saying that this stuff never happened. He's saying that as some of these instances in that very, very long report that came from the Attorney General, he's saying that he also has witnesses, and some of those people were in the room in some of these other circumstances that these women are talking about. And they are defending him, saying it didn't happen because they were there in the room with him. But we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna see what happens. Like I said, more than likely, I think he'll probably be impeached. Either way it goes, I don't think he has the votes to keep his office. Pretty sure not, because this is a scandal if I've ever heard one, and it's no good. But like I said, he can keep saying whatever he wants. He can keep, deny. But, that's what people do anyway, especially in politics. They deny until something slaps them in the face. But apparently he hadn't got that slap in the face yet. But that is okay, because he might get it very, very soon. Chris Cuomo, the brother of Governor Andrew Cuomo, is set to take a week-long vacation that he says, quote, every year I take my birthday week off. So he will be returning 51 on Monday, according to the CNN podcast, and he, quote, is looking forward to it. Now, his vacation suspiciously comes after his brother, Andrew Cuomo of New York, faces widespread calls for his resign. After the report from the New York State Attorney General on Tuesday detailed multiple sexual harassment accusations against him. So he says that he is taking that vacation because of that, and he always takes it. I don't know if we believe you. I like you, buddy. I really love your show on CNN, your 9 p.m. primetime show, but I don't know. Before this, though, he had apologized. And I must mention before this, on his show, he has not mentioned his brother or the scandal in any type of way on his program, which I don't know if that's good or bad, but I feel like it's probably for the best. He should certainly stay out of it. And obviously he'd have a biased opinion. That is his brother. So, and I'm pretty sure that CNN has a policy against that. But anyway, people on Fox News are they are definitely ripping him apart for that, saying that he should speak out against it, etc., etc., etc. But Chris Cuomo, he did apologize earlier this year for discussing strategy with his brother, Governor Cuomo's aides, on how to respond to the scandal. So the host said he called his actions a mistake, and he pledged not to discuss his brother on air. So on Thursday's episode of The Handoff, I don't know if you guys know that show, but it's called The Handoff. It's like a weekly podcast that Chris Cuomo and his co-hosts kind of do. His colleague Don Lemon, they do that. He says Mr. Cuomo told Mr. Lemon that he was looking forward to his time away. He says, "I'll be right here at home because I don't know why I'd go anywhere else than the East End of Long Island during the summer. It's the most beautiful place in the world." That's what he said. So he is going to the Hamptons. He says he will be fishing, he'll be hanging out, and, you know, making memories with his kids. So I guess, you know, hey, look, you know, you go ahead and do your birthday thing. I don't know about your brother, though. He might be in jail later on. But, you know, you please, you know, you enjoy that vacation, sir. You enjoy it. The Pentagon will require members of the U.S. military to get a COVID-19 vaccine by September 5th. And this is according to a memo that was obtained by the Associated Press. Now, the deadline could be possibly pushed up if the vaccine receives final FDA approval or infections rates continue to rise. Even at risking financial consequences, there are 2 school districts in the state of Florida, superintendents, that are refusing to allow parents to opt their children out of district-wide mask mandates without a medical reason. So this comes after Governor Ron DeSantis, sure you guys have heard of him, he's been in the news quite a bit. Also, he issued an executive order on July 30th, and it gave the state education commissioner the green light to deny money to districts that don't comply with the rules to protect parents' rights to make health care decisions for their minor children. He issued, like I said, he issued this emergency rule on Friday, July 30th, because I guess he thought that was a great idea. Now, on one hand, I do understand, obviously, parents have rights and they should be able to do, you know, have decisions to make for their children's health care. But the thing about this is it is like a global thing right now. So it's not just someone, you know, making you get a shot or something, or they're not, you know, making you do anything else other than try to protect the children and each other by wearing the mask, because those children that he's talking about, they can't even get the COVID-19 vaccine anyway. So the only protection they do have is that mask. But now he has made it okay for the education commissioner to deny money to a school. So, great job. Great job. You are so awesome for doing that. I mean, really, you're so awesome. Oh my God. You should get a round of applause for denying money to kids. Denying money to kids. Good job. You're the man. You're the man. You're not the man for doing that. That is uncalled for. And I can understand, obviously somebody going against an executive order, but to deny money to a school full of children, no. He is getting plenty of shots fired at him for making that executive decision on July 30th. So we're definitely going to see if he will be at his post on the next election. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. I mean, some people are going to be like, but other people are going to be like, nah, bruh. But we're going to see. The now 78-year-old New York real estate heir Robert Durst took the stand at his California murder trial on Monday and immediately denied killing his best friend, Susan Berman. His attorney, Dick, asked him while he was on the stand, did he kill Susan Berman? He responded, no. And then he was asked, did you know who did? And he also responded, no. Now, Durst is now in very, very frail condition. He has bladder cancer and several other ailments that prevented him when he was on trial he couldn't really hear the judge. He couldn't really hear his attorneys that well, which caused him to keep talking, even when, they told him not to, et cetera, et cetera. So, I don't know if you guys know a lot about this case, but like I said, he's accused of killing his best friend, Susan Berman. Now, he and his lawyers claim that when he showed up at the house, she was already dead. He panicked when he saw the body, and then he fled. Now, he did an interview in 2015 with the Jinx, and he apparently made some seemingly damning statements about the killing. So, which resulted in him, the eve of the last episode of that, being arrested after that final episode had aired. He finally was, started his trial 2020, but, the coronavirus obviously paused that. So it resumed, back in May. And so he's accused of killing her. He's accusing of shooting her in her home in December of 2000. And according to him, like I said, he did not do it, and he's hoping to be acquitted, but I don't know. I mean, it's a hard one. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think he killed her or not? Let me know. You can find me on TikTok at Society Complex 1. You can find me on Twitter at Society Complex, and you can find me on Facebook at Society Complex, and you can also find me on Instagram at Society_Complex. So he, like I said, he's very, very sick, so he was unable to stand, and he can't wear a suit or anything, so he was in the brown jumpsuit, that they give you in jail. The judge had denied several requests for delays and a motion for a mistrial because of his health woes. So he is currently sitting in a wheelchair, and like I said, he struggles to hear anything and anybody pretty much. A lot of people say he's faking it, but I mean, he looks pretty frail to me if you've ever seen him. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's faking that. I'm pretty sure he's very, 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 very sick man. But the trial began, at Los Angeles Supreme Court more than about a year ago. His lawyer went through a risky move of calling a murder defendant to testify. A lot of people don't do that. Just like when he was acquitted in 2008, 2003 at a Texas murder trial when the wealthy heir, he, like I said, he was acquitted. So I guess he thought that this same thing was going to happen. But like I said, it might. You never know. He got out of the first one, so he might get out of this one. I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. I don't know. But we will see. I'm definitely going to keep keeping up with this trial. This is one of like my favorite true crime things. Just, especially being that he was acquitted the first time. But this time, I don't know if he's going to get out of it. I mean, he could, go to jail like Bill Cosby, even though Bill Cosby got out on a technicality. But, whatever. Guess we'll see how this goes. Thank you for staying tuned into Society Complex with your host, Vaughn Lee. And I'll see you next time with the breaking news headlines. I'm out.